can just see Jamie's face that full intro, man. Anyway, we don't have time to talk about it. Half-time in the Champions League at Ibrox, match day 4, Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. We'll obviously go into the game in greater depth on the reaction, but JD, that's a bit more like it, isn't it?
That's what we wanted, innit? That start was perfect. And it's not been like heavy swashbuckling, right, going sliding into tackles and stuff, but just a bit more intent, and that's all we asked for. That's all we've asked for, and it's worked. This game's here to be won by. They're a good side. I don't care. They're not depleted at all. Like that boy Fletch said, they're not depleted, but they're a good side. But we can get some of this game. Fingers crossed.
Just to see us, Stu, compete in Europe. I know we played well against Napoli for 60 minutes until we get a red card, but to see us compete with a top Liverpool team, all right, they've got a few players out, so have we. A top Liverpool team, and some of the players look scared. Or am I just blue-tinted specs on?
No, I think you're 100% right. I think the thing is they've got players missing, but they've also got top quality, star players that go and replace those players that are missing. So obviously it's not Salah, but you're still playing a side that plays most weeks in the Scottish Premiership. So yeah, I thought we looked brilliant. Overall, brilliant, I'd say. Really snapping into everything and just we look up for it. And Gio was right, he said that we'd be up front from the first whistle, and they absolutely have been. The only disappointment was we just didn't capitalize. After that first goal, I thought they looked so ropey. They looked absolutely shaken. And I just thought we could have maybe gone and got another, but we've still got a second half. We can go again.
It was we scored the first 15 minutes. It was I was sitting pretty, thinking brilliant. We were up 1-0, and then 5 minutes after, like Stu says, you're feeling like, let's go. We always concede goals. A couple of minutes later, they score a shit goal. And then for 20 minutes, it was all Liverpool. And we went back to looking scared, playing long balls, playing square balls. John Lundstrom he was dreadful for about 50 minutes in that game. Tavs had a bit of a shocker. But we've come into the end there. A wee Sakala run, that's all it takes. It was a bit of an up and down there, actually, Mark.
You know what we're close to, JD? We're close to taking their cup off them because we've played well and created some chances.
I know.
We're close to getting that. We've had more shots than them trophy.
Yeah, 55-minute cup, wasn't
it? We're very, very, very close to it. First goals, Stu. Look, we talked about them before, and every single time on this podcast or anywhere else you mention, is he right to start Arfield? Arfield shuts us all up. Every single time.
I'm going to just start slagging him off every single time he's in the team because, I just remember back to the semi-final when he come on and I thought, why are we bringing him on? And then he scores that worldie and we're back in the game, we go on and win. And today, after the past couple of domestic games, I didn't think he'd be the right choice to start. But he's done exactly what we said he had to do on the pod, and that was take up that number 10 role, late runs. Obviously, he's helping out in midfield as well because he is getting stuck in a lot and he's just drifting. He's finding them pockets all over the pitch, and that's exactly what you need from him. And, he's not been great in front of goal lately, but the moment that matters, he was there, and it was a great finish.
Phenomenal finish, JD. A striker's finish.
Great goal. He doesn't hit it with a lot of power either, so it's placed. But I just thought the build-up play was outstanding. An absolutely fantastic goal. By the way, I see Kent getting a bit of grief in the court. I think Ryan Kent's looked good. I think he looks up for it. He's not every switch. We've talked about Sakala before we came on. Switch balls sometimes hits him in the back of the head or something like that. Switch balls to Kent tonight. First touch is on point. I think there's a moment in this game for Ryan Kent tonight. I've got a feeling.
Does he just JD have to be slightly more braver?
That's it. You've nailed it, Martin. Yeah, it does need to be slightly more braver because Joe Gomez shit himself. Gomez and Tsimikas look like they're really petrified of the crowd. They're petrified of who they're up against. Just a bit more belief and fucking Kent. Give me his knickers back or whatever you want to say.
I don't want to get into a big massive debate about Sakala, Stu, because we've got different opinions in that group chat in the first half. A bit like my hairs.
I'll leave. Okay.
But he does seem to have Tsimikas on toast.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping we would get him. He's just that X factor, isn't he? We've always said I don't think he knows what he's going to do after time. He must be hard to defend against because he's going to knock that ball past you and go, but he's so fast you just can't stop it happening. But yeah, I didn't think he'd been that great up until that point, but then he gives you that one moment of magic, and that could have been, maybe should have been 2-1 at that point. So he's done amazing there. And
That's a goal for me.
Simicast is going to be shit scared the entire time.
That
He's
one
on
is
a booking as well, Martin, shouldn't he?
He should be on a booking, 100%. He should be on a booking. The referee's a bit all over the place for me. But look, you're going to get inconsistencies in refereeing in Europe. But on that point, Stu's talking about, Sakata takes it by him, knocks it back, falls again to Arfield. It's a very, very good defensive block, but he should have scored.
He should have scored. Thompson says, it's nothing more else he could do. He could have burst the net. But you don't see Arfield do that. Arfield always does opens his body up to the inside of the foot, and that's how he got his goal. So you can't argue, but we should have scored.
He did seem to be stretching slightly for it.
Yeah, I thought that. I haven't even seen the replay yet, really, because I was sort of head in hands. But I thought at first look, he was just on the stretch. That's why I said in the chat, I don't know if Tab could have swept it in instead. But yeah, Arfield looked like he was just maybe on the stretch.
Channel legend, John Batchelor. 449 super chat again. Thank you very much, John. Very quickly, we'll touch on their goal in a wee second, Stu. Cholak, what have you made of him? And should he have scored with that bad Joe Gomez back pass?
He should have at least got himself into a position to have a shot. I thought that maybe he was on the stretch and that was all he could do. But when you see the replay, and he could have maybe gone to the left of the keeper and rolled. That's what I thought.
Overall, yeah, that's exactly it. That's the only thing I think he could have done in that situation. Maybe he thought that he saw someone just coming in off his peripheral, and he thought he'd just set him up. But I think he's done well enough, and he's doing that sort of stuff that you don't really notice so much in the game. So even for Arfield's chance, him even drifting out, giving Arfield that space to run into is massive for a striker to do. Just drags players all over the place. So yeah, overall he's good, and the great thing is we still got, if it's not working, we've still got Morelos on the bench to come in and help out as well.
Big thank you to Brizo77. Brizo7. I'm terrible with pronunciations.
Because remember, Brizo corrected you when you.
I know, but come on. Give me a break. Come on, it's half time in the Champions League and we're drawing with Liverpool.
Can I just talk about Cholak? I'm a wee bit the other way, and I know people were saying I had a love for him. I want more from him. But I'm not forgetting his movement for the space he creates. These things do go unnoticed by people like me who want him on. But I don't know. I just want to be a bit more. I want to hold the ball. I don't know. We keep putting the ball to Van Dijk. Got to go away for him. I don't know.
Not in that.
Van Dijk.
But it is, JD. It's good to see. And I'm sorry I'm cutting you off because we don't have a lot of time. It's weird that at half time we just don't have the time. Gio's completely changed the way that we play for this game, which is good to see, JD. It's more a case of get the ball, get it forward.
That's what he said.
Much more positivity.
He said we would be a bit different. However, there was points where you hear the crowd growling at Barisic. I feel sorry for Borna. For a confidence player, I would let him make decisions in that moment. Borna, you want to hit the corner flag, do it. Ken, imagine just pop that ball over Joe Gomez's head every time. He's shitting himself facing his own goal. But he turns and goes back. So it's such a tactical thing. And the commentary team are saying, we need a bit of bravery. And the next time we do it, we score. Because Jack started that, but it's tactical. He's following instructions and he's doing his job. So
I think the thing that the crowd get on is that Barisic opens his body up like he's about to play that ball. Then he turns back and plays a ball back. And it's like he doesn't even play the way he's facing. He turns back to play that pass back. And I think that's why the crowd get a bit edgy with it.
And very quickly, Stu, their goal was 7 minutes after we scored.
Yeah.
For the beginning, Tav's poor. Tav hasn't played well, let's be honest. And the corner comes in, and Firmino isn't even. He might be deceptively strong looking, Firmino, but there's no challenge there, is there? No,
I don't know what is going on. He's got to be strong. If he's literally been muscled off the ball, he's got to be stronger. And if he's not, then he's just not. Firmino has literally not jumped. It's not like he's jumped a little bit. He has stood his ground and headed the ball into the back of the net in our box. I don't know what it is with our corners. We just find new ways of being horrendous at them. But yeah, Tav's got to hold his hands up from start to finish on that one, I think.
I think Sakala could have done better, by the way. He gets a bit exciting and runs to the way the ball's, but the ball goes right there. His head. I'm not saying this again, but an Aribo or a Morelos potentially header that away or at least on Firmino's toes. God, this is basics, man. Front boy, the front post, somebody in front of him, somebody behind him, you just sandwich him in and he can't score that goal. But Sakala, again, a bit of the intelligence gets a bit, he runs a wee bit forward, and then realises and then runs back with the ball, and there he said goal. So I think he's to blame, and I thought Tav was getting held by me a wee bit. I know it's 6.5, but
aye. Well, we'll obviously we'll dig a wee bit deeper into that at full time. But JD, obviously, right towards the end of half time, Connor Goldson picks up an injury which you just don't see. And now, do you know, it's so annoying half time. I don't know how they can do it on TV with all the adverts. You just don't have time to talk about anything. I'd have been more comfortable, I think, with Leon King coming in beside Goldson, just simply because I think Davis looks cracking. I think he's played really well. Just he hasn't played a lot of games, and King's coming in beside him. But you know, I'm confident with the two of them at the same time as well.
I don't know if I put a hex on Big Connor there, because that's me asking for what's happening with Leon. And see when those, I think it looks a bad one, by the way. You can just sense it's like a hamstring, that's more like a quad in it. You know yourself that could be a good few months. See, for me, Davies has been the best defender. I thought Goldson's looked a wee bit shaky at some points and looked a bit slow. And I think just beside Tav's fucking him up, to be honest. But I'm cool. I think Davies looks brilliant, by the way. That's what the difference on the left-sided centre half.
Anyways, that will do us for half time. I was so much more I want to ask, but we will be back for the reaction and we'll go a deeper dive into absolutely everything. So thank you for joining us. Go and enjoy the second half, and let's just hope Rangers can pull off a famous victory. So thank you for watching, and we shall speak to you all at full time.